The following is an ESG on-location video.
Welcome to Dell Technologies 2019 in Vegas. As you can see on the sign above my head here, the theme this year was real transformation. Now, aside from begging the question of what sort of transformation did we have before, I think the other question that's really interesting is it talking about transformation of Dell itself, their clients and the market, or of IT more generally? I think the answer is some of all of that. There's certainly a general change going on as IT becomes a more endemic part of everyone's lives and the world as a whole.
My biggest expectation coming into the event was hearing a more unified story and message from VMware and Dell Technologies, especially Dell EMC, and that was absolutely met. Hearing Pat Gelsinger and Jeff Cart up on stage announcing the Dell Technologies cloud platform was very well received. I really enjoyed how they were pushing the VxRail as that foundational technology to enable a VMware-based hybrid and multi-cloud strategy. And it makes sense why they're pushing VxRail. It's really able to satisfy both the core data center use cases as well as those next-generation edge use cases.
Some great announcements at this show in the space of data protection, specifically a new solution called Power Protect, which comes either as an appliance, which is actually a scale-out appliance, great innovation from Dell on this aspect, and also as software. It is very significant. We're going to be looking forward to hearing from the first few customers in the next few weeks and months. Certainly a very big announcement for the industry and a great effort from a very, very good team here on the data protection front, where they have a beautiful booth, which is where I'm talking to you from.
My big takeaway from Dell Technologies World this year was summed up in one word: alliances. Once you get through the product announcements and the sales announcements and the numbers and the impressive growth rates and the market share growth and all of those types of things, they then started talking about the importance of global alliances. $10 billion in revenue now flow through the alliances team. When you have the three CEOs of Microsoft, VMware, and Dell Technologies standing on the stage talking about joint initiatives and offers, that's a significant thing. And then it flows through to new and developing technology partnerships and alliances to bring joint solutions to market, capped off by the Global Alliances programs themselves with systems providers, with solution providers, with global systems integrators, all ready to deliver a complete and broad solution that the end customers are really looking to buy.
On a different note, a key theme that really emerged was around intelligence, how Dell Technologies is infusing artificial intelligence and machine learning really throughout their portfolio, throughout their products and solutions. A great example of this was the announcement of ACE, Analytical Consulting Engine, that's really tied to VxRail. What they're looking to do there is provide predictive analytics, forecasting, self-optimization across the entire VxRail software stack. They're really working towards this idea of an automated infrastructure where it's more than a recommendation, but it's actually taking action. And this will really enable customers to focus more on the data, focus more on the applications, and less on the infrastructure.
The theme here is about optimism and about leveraging data to create a better world. In order to achieve this goal, Dell understands that modern businesses need tools not just for the data center, but for hybrid and multi-cloud environments. For the mid-range, Dell announces the Unity XT, which is NVMe ready and double the performance of its predecessor. For file data, it's all about performance now. And with the new Isilon release, Isilon is getting far more scalable, increasing its capacity and performance 75% with linear scalability. For hybrid and multi-cloud environments, Dell is introducing the Dell Technologies Cloud. Dell is integrating with VMware technology to deliver a hybrid cloud solution that takes advantage of VMware's Cloud Foundation that can extend on-premises environments to the cloud. It can also be delivered essentially as a data center in a box, or it can be consumed as a managed service. If Dell continues to harness the power of its individual family members, things like Dell EMC working with VMware, this could be the start of something much bigger.
The big news for networking this week at Dell Technology World was about the rebranding of their entire networking portfolio. That open networking portfolio will now be integrated into the Dell vernacular, and they will be referred to as the Power Switch. So joining the PowerMax storage and the Power Edge servers, this really shows that the organizations are coming together, and it provides a continuity across server, networking, and storage environment. Now, in addition to the rebranding, they also announced a new switch, the S5200 family, 25 gig, really focused on driving those mission-critical HCI environments and completely integrated into the smart fabric. There was also a recognition of the edge, was the introduction of the Dell EMC SD-WAN Edge, powered by VMware. So this would be the SD-WAN onto the Dell appliance, and the cool part here is that it will be fully supported, both hardware and software, through Dell.
If we talk about products, there was loads of news, and obviously that's what's important from what is going on with the company itself. If you talk about portfolio, there's lots of change and integration happening, and we heard lots of that from the whole cloud story that has now been embraced to some of the individual products and how those play into the broader story. But I think the biggest transformation for me here was to do with the market and Dell Technologies overall. We heard a lot about technical optimism. We heard about technology as a force for good. We heard the initial parts of a conversation about not just what Dell does, but what Dell is and represents. When you think of the scale of this organization, I don't think this was a completed conversation by any means, but it was certainly the start of talking very differently about IT.